To grow up here is very evil, I would say, because there are a lot of stuff you see. If you start being a gangster, you won't get out. Yeah, you can't guarantee if you're gonna live tomorrow, because you're dead already.
And here we go. It's another twin pod. Welcome to the twin pod. This is Cohen Charles, and this is my twin brother, Cameron Charles. Today we have an extraordinary individual from Manenberg that is going viral for his content. Before I introduce the gentleman to my right hand side, they ken die man. Die man is op your For You page all the time. And finally, when we started, right, I got an inbox from you, and you mentioned, I'm waiting for my invite, and it's imminent. Mr. Calemb, Hendricks, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm actually very excited to be here. Like you said, now that was one of the first things I did was to inbox Cohen and tell him like, listen, I need to feature on this podcast because I see you guys are doing something different.
Yeah.
Man. So yeah, like I said, I'm excited to be here, guys, and I can't wait to get into it.
Absolutely. Before we get into the content and the comedy, there's some background about you, where you grew up, how you grew up, and the schools you attended.
Yeah. So I grew up. I'm originally from Manenberg. I still stay in Manenberg.
Okay.
I grew up in Irvin Street. I don't reside there as of now,
Okay.
but there's reasons behind why I don't stay there anymore, which we
Yeah.
can speak about a bit later. But I went school out of the area. I think it was like a part of I don't know how my mother then grew up just to like there's a lot of gangsterism and stuff in this area, and so they didn't want me to grow up around this stuff. You know what I mean? And them being this loving, caring, tight knit family, all they wanted for me was the best. And then they put me in a school, primary school. I went Vanguard. In
Okay.
Vanguard, I went to Saint Teresa's Primary, which is a Catholic primary school. And I'm not very much Catholic. I don't know, maybe I turned out different to what they wanted. But yeah, I went to Saint Teresa's Primary, and then high school. I attended Belgravia High in Athlone. And then I dropped out in grade 10. I dropped out. I didn't actually drop out. You know what happened? No? I completed
Mhm.
grade 10 and then obviously failed. And then I had to go back and I went back and then I was like, bah, again, my bro, this air. And then I was thinking to myself, like, my bro, are you really gonna be in grade 10 again? The third time? This is bad, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the following year, like, and when they were supposed to wake me up for school, nobody came to wake me up, and I was like, oh, class, this is what I wanted, you know what I mean? Like, as much as I wanted to finish school, it was also quiet that nobody woke me up that morning. I was like, okay, then solid. This is come on now. Life is gonna be from here on out. And yeah, I didn't finish school. And then I think I had like a numerous side hustles along the way. Like I was good at speaking to my mommy about what was on my mind. And I told her, listen here, man, I feel like there's another way besides school.
Okay.
So I'm going to be this person that I believe I'm supposed to be, and this is like a entrepreneur, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then I convinced her to invest into this ideas that I had, which was selling sneakers at the time. And yeah, she invested like I think a 3,000 rand. I went, did research, obviously got my first pair of sneakers, imported it I think out of America, and then I struggled to sell the techies, and that was where that idea was like, yo, my bro, it's harder than what I thought it's gonna be. And eventually,
How
then I
old were
just
you
gave
then?
up.
How old were you?
I was when I dropped out of school. I think I was like an 18 when I dropped out of school. Yeah, I was supposed to be matric, which I wasn't. So I
Yeah.
was like of age.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18. And yeah, and then I didn't sell the pair of shoes for like the first month it was laying there until I sold it. Got help from a friend that was in the game already. He introduced me to this customer, and that's how the techies got sold. And I was demotivated after that when I thought to myself, like, and if this is gonna be how long it take, then what am I actually doing here? You know what I mean? And I think as a young person filled with ambition and all of
Yeah.
that stuff, like you want stuff to happen quickly, man. You know what I mean? I wanted to make a name for myself,
Yeah.
and that wasn't what I was getting. And I think that ultimately discouraged. Like I felt discouraged, and I gave up. And then further along the line, I think I started like selling stuff at home, chicken and all of that different types. So it was in me, man. My mommy used to lend money to the people, and she used to sell chicken and all of that stuff. And I think I got it from her. And looking at like the amount of money that she was making at like doing the side hustle was more than what she was actually getting paid at work. I thought, my bro, if I can do this full time and focus all my energy into this, then I will be stable.
Yeah.
And that wasn't what it came out to, because further along the line, like, and stuff just took a heavy turn. And I think like, and I don't know if there's gonna come more questions, but I would like to elaborate more on what happened. Yeah, but that's basically me. Like, yeah, that's how I grew up.
Normally, no, they say if you are funny, no, they say that we're funny in class, right? A class
Yo,
clown. So it's cool. We're the funny one.
yo, I think, nah, and thus I think I realize only now that I've been blessed with this. It's actually a gift, man. Like the type of content I'm creating is obviously comedy related, and like you said, now I think throughout my life I was the one to make people's day, man, like make them laugh and whatever. So in class, yeah, that was me. I think there was like days when my mommy had to come into school because I was thrown out because I was being a nuisance in class and stuff. But that was just me being me, man. You know what I mean? And I watched this video once on YouTube. Now this guy, his name is Prince EA. You guys must go and check him out.
Okay.
He basically explains like what the system is doing to the youth, man. It's like prescribing the same medication to everybody that is ill from different diseases or sickness, you know what I mean? And that is school. Like it's a one size fits all thing. Like everybody's not cut out to sit still and stuff every day. That's not me. And the fact that I had to sit through that every day was like, it was tough, man. And now I still get punished for being myself. It's like, yo,
Did you feel uncomfortable sitting in the school desk?
yo, my bro, the school desk became a musical instrument after a while. I was like, that's I couldn't handle it anymore, my bro. And I think like eventually the teachers started getting irritated by me and all of that stuff. And like I said, got thrown out of class numerous times. And yeah, my bro,
You
school,
know,
man.
you know what is the irony, no? Is that we just had a class now, right? So I'm
Mm.
the English teacher and I teach Caleb as well. So we had a class now. So now I'm curious that why go back to finish matric when you were a class
Mm.
clown?
Yeah, that's it. That is a quite question. Huh? I think, and this isn't. I don't think I in the past saw myself doing this. But I think because I have a son, like a huge motivation
Okay.
in my life.
Shout out to his name.
Yeah, Noros Hendricks. Shout out Noros Hendricks. Hy's my Sina, you know. Yeah, he changed a lot for me, man. He made me realize that the decisions I was making, no, was selfish, man. Because I didn't think like, okay, I didn't have him before, but after I had him, I had to think like I couldn't think for myself
Yes.
anymore. I must think like this person that I brought into the world, and my stupid decisions is going to ultimately cause him to suffer. So I need to man up and make realistic decisions. I need to make proper decisions that's not only going to benefit me, but benefit my son as well. And I think that is what encouraged me to actually go and do my matric. And also the fact that the youth, and like look at the unemployment rate in our areas, man. Like, and I fell victim to that as well. You know what I mean? Like I was unemployed and whatever, but I felt like the only way to escape that was not just to give in to like the matric. I have to have matric, and that ultimately encouraged me to get back into school and whatever. And Mr. Charles or Cohen gevaarlijk class.
The goat.
Goated me, bro. Nah, you must come sit in once. This man is hot.
Caleb, you know what though? You have that face. You have that face. Tybra Lake Pekin, my is now.
Ah.
Now look at you, get it often with people. Now when you're content creator and you're blowing up. Like look at you and then like
Yeah. I think I've experienced that now recently a lot. Yeah, especially since like I've been on Everybody's For You page. People will look at me and be like, "Me bro, don't I know you from somewhere?" And immediately I just go TikTok and they're like, yeah, me bro, and whatnot. And I think like it brings that home feeling into me, man. Like, and I feel lekker about what I'm doing. Just the fact that people, like, I read through the comment section, and you know how many people tell me on a daily basis, like, yo, you made my day, and I recently lost this family member, and you know, like, after watching your videos, I feel much better and stuff like that. So I think it's been a quiet experience thus far, and yeah, I randomly hook into people that is like, "Hey, my bro, ek ken mos vir jou man, jy lyk baie familiar," and then I just go, "Oh, I do this." And then they know immediately, oh, nah, Jay's hype, bruh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you see yourself as a content creator or influencer?
So they did ask me this before, no? And I think I'm more of a content creator, although I do have a great amount of influence amongst the youth in our area, because I've seen that a lot of people are starting to look up to me.
Yeah.
So I also need to be aware of the type of stuff that I'm like the videos that I'm making. And I don't want to like push this wrong thingy to the children. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain it, but that's agenda, man.
Look here, how do you, as an interesting point, how do you find a balance between keeping your content clean and provoking people as well?
Yeah. I think the one character that I do play is obviously on drugs and whatever, so a wrong turn on that one. But
Yeah.
anyway, like I think I don't sway, which makes it like an age appropriate for a lot of children and whatever. And they already exposed to stuff like that every day, man. And I'm just showing them the negative side to things. I'm not showing them how that bra is actually succeeding. But at the end of each video, it proves that nah, he's going crazy.
Yeah. You know what I find amazing, and I understand this because it's similar to poetry, you know, right? You get literal and figurative.
Mhm.
So what you're doing is you're playing on that literal,
Yeah.
literal meaning. You see,
I found that is
that's
my
class.
sweet spot. Like people have those phrases that they throw around every day, but I thought like, and you know what? What if I take that for real, man? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I've seen that people actually like it,
Yeah.
and so I've been trying to create content around that, like, and more often, more frequently. Yeah.
How many followers do you have now?
So I have about 62K at
And-
this point.
And how long have you been doing?
Yeah, I started in December of last year.
Yo.
So like mid-December, I started creating comedy skits. I
Yeah.
had that account, and I was posting like normal photos on it, and I was like under 100 followers, and I was like, "My bro, but I recently discovered this side of me, man, and I want to put it out there. You know what I mean?" But I don't think a lot of people in this area has the guts or the balls to be transparent about who they are on social media.
Yeah.
It's all about looking quiet and all of that stuff. And I think like through looking quiet, I made lots of moves, a lot of stupid decisions, and I didn't want to be that person anymore. I wanted to be me. I wanted to be authentic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that ultimately gave me like that courage to, you know what, just be yourself, man, and weigh out this person that you are, put it out there.
Look at the first video, no? I want you to take us back to that.
Mm.
So you make this video, and now you're going to decide to post the video.
Mm.
What is going through your mind?
Hey, first of all, my teeth is messed up, my bro. So that was the first knock. I think insecurities is a big thing. Because there's so many people with so much talent, but the insecurities get the better of them.
I get you. How do
So
you overcome that?
I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting with a phone in my hand, no? And I'm thinking to myself, my bro, jy is baie insecure. You don't want to expose yourself like this, man. And you know what I did? I just pressed that button, post, and I put my phone down and I thought to myself, my bro, if there's negative feedback, you must handle it.
Yeah.
You've been handling.
I wanna ask you about negative feedback. How do you deal with negative comments, bro? You know, social media is wild out there.
Yeah.
How do you deal with?
I think on TikTok I haven't gotten so much like backlash, like negative feedback. On YouTube, on the other hand, I had people like telling me, because I do challenges in like Manenberg and stuff, paying people to eat a chili and stuff like that. They like, and I'm extorting or using people for self gain. You know what I mean?
Yes, I hear you.
And it was a tough dinguses to chew or pill to swallow, because it got me thinking like, am I chasing this type of lifestyle that I see other content creators are loving, and do I want that, and is that the motivation behind why I'm actually doing stuff like that? Or is it just because like, and I'm trying to show the people in our area that you can do something different with yourself, man? And ultimately, that is what I want. I want to show the youth that, you know what? It doesn't, despite what people say, people's always going to have something negative to say, man. I'm just going to be me, and I'm going to show you that there is a better way of life. You don't have to look up to like gangsters and stuff, because they don't have so much negative stuff to say to the gangsters and stuff like that, my bro. But yeah, they're picking on us as trying to do something different. So I mean, like, and it's something that you are going to get in different areas of your life. You must just handle it, man. So I'm handling it.
What I love about TikTok, no, they have this photo button also.
You can put it off.
Where you can. I had one guy, no, told me, yo, hy moet vir my teach. Ek dryp sommer.
Yo.
But luckily, that was the photo. Right? And I obviously didn't approve. I reject.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, yo, I'm doing this for free. I'm using my time I can spend with my family to educate, to encourage, and yet we have those people, right? So do you think over time you build that resilience against them?
Yeah, 100%. I think over time I've come to realize that, you know, maybe that is like people that is ultimately insecure of themselves, like they want to be doing what like we are doing or whatever, but they
But they
don't
can't,
have the
yeah.
guts to.
Yeah.
So now they're looking at who can. And you know what? Most of the people with the negative comments and stuff is mense without profile pics. Hy rol 'n kop
As
en
a-
hy's gou
As I users,
usernames.
User 1, 2,
Ah, wee! Julle wat so users, julle moet ophou met dit wat julle doen nie.
I wanna speak about your content. But bro, waar kry jy die ideas
Yay,
man?
my bro. I think like you did touch on a part of it earlier when you spoke about obviously taking the stuff literally. Everything,
yes.
like all the figurative stuff, I
Yes.
take it literal. I think like during the day na, when I'm at work, so I made this thingy like I put it up in my bio on TikTok that I'm gonna release new content every day.
Okay.
Well, I had to take it off there because it became taxing to make content every day.
Now.
As difficult, you know what I mean. But in the beginning, for the first 2 months, I was releasing a video each and every day. So I must sit at work in my lunch, and I think, my bro, what you gonna do this evening when you get home? And I come out like up with like 5-10 ideas, but only one out of the 10 is really like a solid one. So then I use that one, you know what I mean. And then I get home and then I ask this bra, like my cameraman, like, listen, my bro, this is my idea, this is what I want to do, what backgrounds am I gonna use and all of that stuff, and then we put it together. Like it takes me, I think, a solid 45 minutes to put a video like from start to finish.
Is that including editing everything?
Yeah, including editing and everything. Yeah, I do that in the same, like once I'm done shooting, I take all of the clips, cut it up, add sound effects and what, and then I post it.
You know what the difficult part is, no? I don't see myself as a content creator, right? I see myself as an educator. So I make content. The difficult part is to be consistent. So how do you maintain consistency? Because now there's an expectation because people want quality content.
Yeah.
Right? And you have been, bro, your content, your editing is a different level.
My ma's lief for you. For your content.
Come, this Caleb up here.
Yeah. I think consistency. Yo, there's days now where I feel like I don't have lust, man. Like I honestly don't feel like doing anything that day. But I need to remind myself, like, on what is my goal. Like I set a goal before I started this thing. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna go into it, I'm gonna put my all into it, because I didn't put my all into a lot of stuff throughout my life.
Yes.
I just give it like a 2-3 weeks and I give up. You know what I mean? And since I've like seen all of the love and support I'm getting from people, like, and that's the least I can do, man. Is even in that moment when I don't feel like doing it, just do it. And I think I've learned a lot through that, and I can use that in my everyday life also, man. Especially like nowadays when I have to get up early for work. I think like that. I think like, and my bro, you make time for your TikTok videos. It's like, op te staan nie, but stand up. And I think a lot of people feel like it.
Okay, do you dream about your content?
Yeah. I think sometimes, some nights, I wake up with a moersikkel on my Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Look at Ongtong, my bro. Baba na ko naam. And who's
Ongtong.
Introduce Ongtong to
Yeah.
Okay, so I think like this is where this thing like takes a huge turn, because I don't think you guys expect this, right?
Okay.
So I've seen the people that normally come onto your podcast, like Dwayne was on your Solan, and I've seen this other guy. What's his name?
Karim.
Yeah, that's the 3 episodes that you had
Yeah.
out.
And
That's
my
out
mom.
now, no? And your mom was the
Yes.
first one.
Yeah.
But obviously, the 3 people that I was speaking about now, I see their background is like drugs and stuff like that, and I actually come from like that background. Like I was a drug addict before. So
Oh.
that is what inspired my character Ontong, is because I was using drugs for like I think 5, 6 years of my life. And I'm speaking about the drugs that the people use that was on this podcast. So yeah, myth and stuff like that. And I think that is what ultimately inspired that character, because I have a lot of experience in that type of lifestyle, you know what I mean? And like I said earlier on, I used to stay in
Urban
Irvin Street, but I stay in South Park now. So where I do reside is actually a safe space for people that is coming out of gangsterism and drugs. So I'm living with people that is in the same boat like me, and that's hence Dwayne. So that's how I know Dwayne,
I
Okay.
because he
understand.
also came through a program and all of that
South
stuff.
Park.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, exactly. So that's how I know Dwayne. Yeah. So I was a drug addict. I will forever be an addict, because like an addict doesn't mean you're not using drugs anymore. You're not an addict. Like you can be addicted to sugar or anything like that, man. So I have to just be more aware than your typical person. Like I need to know my limits and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I still consider myself as an addict, because if I don't and I get relaxed, then I might just slip up again. I don't want to go back to that life. You know what I mean? Because it was tough times, me, bro.
How long are you clean now?
I'm clean now for a year and 4 months.
Okay.
Clean,
It's nice, maybe.
abstinent from drugs, alcohol, everything. Only I do smoke cigarettes, but
Yeah.
yeah. So it's been a tough journey, but I feel like this is actually like in solidifying my recovery, man. The content and the things that I'm doing now with myself is actually showing that what the choices I made is worth it, man. You know
Do
what
you
I mean?
look at? Do you think your content creation, the character that you're playing, that's your therapy?
Yeah, yeah, I think it is, yeah. Like I said,
Wow, man.
Ontong is that bra that I was. And to look at that and see where I was and what I've come to be is like a huge difference, man. So it make me feel better about myself. Like you said, it's
Wow.
like some type of therapy.
Wow.
So I look at that,
Class.
bra, and I think to myself, my bro,
That's
you
class,
know
bro.
what? Look where you came from. Every day I stand in the mirror, like my friends, like my peers at home will think, yo, Dibaras, I should talk to myself. Not because I'm mad, but because I'm proud of what I've become. Man. Like despite everything that I went through, I managed to rise above. And that's ultimately what I want for the youth in this community. And I think just showing them like the inside of what it is to be a drug addict, like, and should wake them up, man. Should show them like, and my bro, that's not the life that you want to live. It's not a quiet lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah,
This place you are in South Park, is it
mm.
like a rehab center? What you guys do
Nah,
there?
it's a safe house. It's actually a spiritual program, no? But then we do attend rehab
Okay.
also, but that's separately, because they are not registered as a rehab, because otherwise you need to go through a lot of
Yes.
procedures and
Okay.
stuff like that. So they basically just a safe house. Although for the people of Manenberg and all the surrounding areas, like there is a rehabilitation center in the area. I don't even know if you guys are aware of that.
No, never heard of.
A Matrix Rehabilitation Center is right opposite Sambo Primary. And this is something I never knew when I was on drugs. And then my mom. So this is, can I just like an add
Yeah,
about
you can
to
add.
like how
Okay.
this thing, like how. Me and my friend, we were gonna smoke this day, and I was like, my bro, kyk hier, daar by my huis is 'n klomp items wat ons lekker kan verkoop en regmaak. You know, when you're on drugs, you take a old pair of tekkies and you make it look new, mos.
Yeah.
Sy is gevaarlik. Nee, gevaarlik. Kyk nie,
It's a
my bro, ek sê
shoemaker.
vir jou nou,
It's a shoemaker.
klas ek, hy man, het nie 'n feit nie, maar as ek nou vir hom gaan verkoop aan iemand anders, dan gaan ek vir hulle convince hy's 'n feit wat hy het. Verstaan julle nou? So evil was ek.
Yes.
And so I managed to convince my brother, my bro, the stuff that I have at home is worth money, man. We go and fetch it, and then we sell it, and then we're gonna smoke.
Yeah.
Alright, on my way home, the two of us chatting, lekker, get home, go in, fill this black bag full of stuff, and I come out, my friend was waiting in front. Ek kwam voor, die man is weg. I'm like, hey, where's this brother? She's funny, like, didn't you have lust? We didn't now just wanted to smoke. That was the main objective. Go to my house, grab the stuff, sell it, go smoke. Come out, he's gone. I go back in, go into the room. My girlfriend, which is the mom of my son, we still together, was laying on my mommy's bed in the house, and she was crying, and I was like, "Hey, why are you crying?" And she was like, "Hey, Malik, my friend, just told her now that like I'm on drugs." And you know what? It was in that moment, like I think a lot of people will be angry at the person, they will like snitch on them and stuff like that. But for me, that was something I couldn't do for myself. I couldn't come clean to my family because deep down I knew that I'm suffering from this drugs. This isn't who I am. I didn't grow up like that. I had the support of my family and everything. They were always with me 24/7. They gave me what I wanted and stuff like that. I knew this isn't the life that I was supposed to live or wanted to live. And I just decided, you know what, I'm gonna come clean, man. I'm gonna tell her, like, and you know what, but I wasn't lying at all. That is the truth that he told you. And my mommy came in, and my mommy was like, "Hey, what's going on here?" And then she was like, "Yeah, Auntie Sonia, Malik het nou net gesê Calemb is op drugs and whatever." And my mommy broke in, like, down into tears and whatever. And I was like, "Yeah, that is the truth." And they asked me, do I want help and stuff like that. And I think I wasn't completely ready at the time. And I was in denial, man. I thought to myself, like, and I'm not as bad as that brother that is pulling the bun. I still have techies, I still have a phone, still have money in my pocket. But like a few years down the line, like it progressed, it got worse, and I eventually became the brother that I thought I wasn't. You know what I mean? And yeah, but I think it was from that day when my mommy them actually found out. It was from that day onwards that I began to like see that those people actually really want to help me and stuff like that. You know what I mean? They're not actually chasing me away or looking down on me because I made those decisions and stuff like that. They actually want to help me. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't even know what was the original question because I was like,
You know what? No, the first time I met you was in class, obviously, right? So obviously, I told you, you that guy. Ik kende zijn naam niet, but I like bekend.
Yeah.
But when I met you in the first class, and I thought, and then you gave me an answer, and then I looked at you, right, and I continued. You know why I did that? Because you provoked me. I don't know what you said, but you told me something I was not thinking, right? So whenever you in class and I speak to my mom about this, you always say something that I take home with me. You see, so for you to change your life, to reflect firstly, and to acknowledge, nah, this is all mine, and now to put plans in place to change your life, much respect. Much respect, bro,
yeah,
because
I
not
appreciate it.
everyone in this community have that willpower and the mentality to do that.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. And I know so many people that struggling with the same issues and they don't know how to come clean, man. Like, and it starts with you admitting to yourself, like, I have a problem.
Yeah.
You must.
You're not the problem, you have a problem.
You have a problem.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
you're not the problem. Yeah, exactly what you said. You must tell yourself, like, you know what, I have a problem and I need help. And a lot of people, they have so much pride and stuff, like they want to go and ask for help. And you know, now my mommy used to walk after me with those pamphlets and stuff from the rehab, from Matrix. Because she was the one that showed me there was a rehab just around the corner from me. That was exactly like the original question I was about to tell you where the rehab was. And she brought us pamphlet and I looked at it and I was like, nah, you got in a rehab to me. The people's was gonna look at me and think, kyk, wat het gebeur met die lady? And especially the type of person that I was, like I had quite techies and all of that stuff. So I didn't want people to look at me in that light, man. And so I was in denial. I was like, no, I don't need a rehab. I'll come clean on my own. But 2-3 weeks, or not even 2-3 weeks, like 2 weeks, and then bam, just back with my old friends, back sitting at those houses where I'm not supposed to be, and all of that stuff. And if I think about it now, the places that drugs took me now, it wasn't a pleasant experience, man. But I'm glad that I'm not like that anymore, like 100%.
And you have Ongtong as your coping mechanism to remind you.
Kykie, nog stressy dood.
Check it. We're going to paint you a picture, no? And then you must become Ongtong.
Wait. I'm up for the challenge.
Right? First picture. You get into the taxi, no? 32, 33 degrees. It's home. You get into the taxi, Ongtong, no? And you sit next to someone and you get a footer clank, feet like a strong reuk. What is Ongtong gonna say?
Hey! Right toe. As hy tyd mense. So Hey my bro, ek sê vir jou nou. Yo! Die was kaartjie asseblief as julle nie nou as sit hy aircon aan. Sit hy aircon, kyk my lippe. Sit hy aircon aan. En sy, ek sê vir jou nou, ek weet as jou voete maar ryk, maar moenie asemhaal nie. Want sy maak dinge worse hier met my. Ander woorde, en ek sê sommer guys, julle wat so langs aan my sit, ek het cheese and onion, chipa hier wil sê maar wat. Skop in. As ons uitklim, gaan die man se voete afsny en hare jos. I think that's ontong dit vir jou.
Second one.
Let me think of one. Sa lupa ni ani mawalem. We see a quality, beautiful girl, bro. How do you say so? Ontong.
You see, this is what I'm good at. Like this stuff so much just come to my head like automatically. Kyk die ander woorde, ek gaan vir jou nou iets vra, no? Maar moenie nog check hom. Ja, brand my mag. Weet jy wat ook brand my mag? Sy is so mooi, no? Sy is mooi. Sy is baie mooi. Maar die enigste probleem is, ek het nie woorde by jou nie, want sy is te duur vir my. So ander woorde, jy weet, jy likes my, wat ek weet, ek like so alhamdulillah nie. Maar as paise ting, ek het 'n oort in my sak en nou kan ons maar sien man, toe gaan ons like as wat kool jy nou, wat 'n kwai plek is aan die molen. Kyk die ander woorde, ja, besides of the topic nou, no. Ouwen, ek moet nou nie gejaal op my nie man, so ek like as jy nou skryf hier dan met kan jy goed pas en hy beker. Nou nog checkie guys, man, ek het niks saamgebring nie, man, net een couch is genoeg. Ek dink I think ontong is a pro at jumping off topic. Like you gooi hom met one thing, if he can't handle it, dan jam hy sommer na iets anders, you know what?
Look at, do you think that's common with addicts? They can't speak about one thing?
Yeah, they can't, they jump, and that was my own experience. Like if I'm in a corner, then I try and find my way out of it. Like I will make up something just to get out of it, you know what I mean? And I became a pro in that throughout my addiction, like, and I found myself, like I used to believe I'm a master manipulator. I can manipulate people and do with them as I please because I know how to play with the emotions and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Okay. So last one before we go. Okay. Ontong is at the funeral. Huh? It's a close friend. It's at the funeral. Die pastor prik. Ontong kyk af na die pastor skoene. As hy pink lang skoene. Wat gaat hy sê?
So I'm gonna be me first, no?
Okay.
My bro, ontong jy sien, die lewe my bro is iets anders, man. Jy moet 'n bietjie terugsit en relax en whatever. Moenie al so serious vat nie. But anyway, kry vir jou lekker klere en wat trek vir jou aan, ons gaan môre na dinge se lyk toe, ne? Ja, my bro, man, ja, weet jy wat, ek dink vir my, dat ek nie al serious kan wat nie, maar ander woorde, gaan my lekker uitsoet en wat my nie soet en so aan is en boems, right, as is by die lyk. Ja! Ontong my bro, sy kan mos so, my bro, sy het dan gister vir my gesê, ek moet nie al serious vat nie, my bro, man. Au, relax, kyk gauw, lekker man se parapuntas. Extravaganza. En pas te ander woord, ek gaan bid vir jou skoene as jy klaar is, ne?
Tuan, man. Cheers.